Ladies and gentlemen, before we get back to making more music with all these wonderful artists, would you please welcome to the stage for a special presentation, Chairman of the National Music Council of the United States, Charlie Saunders, and songwriter, recording artist, founding member, Mavericks alumnus, and my best friend, Robert Reynolds.
We're going to go handheld. You guys remember Bobby, huh? Bobby and I have been to about 1 million different shows. They're all different, but you can always tell the few where it's family in the house. This is family in the house. So we're here in this historic building on a historic night. Hopefully we're about to do a historic presentation. Appreciation has a lot of different ways of being expressed. And sometimes it's done very quietly. Raul and the Mavericks and the entire Maverick organization are so deeply appreciated throughout the industry by the people who work in it, that it's hard to put into words the kind of respect that exists. But take my word for it, it does. And I'm here to demonstrate that. I'm chairman of the National Music Council of the United States. We are the, it is rare that I get that. Organization for all of the organizations that represent songwriters, artists, labels, music educators, music publishers. And we go around and try to present arguments why those people need to be protected. And we're in Washington and we're in Brussels and we're all over the place. And we do that and we enjoy that and it's important for us. But the thing that we really live for is the cultural observances that we get to make. We've been doing this for a century, and we came up with the American Eagle Award a number of decades ago. Now, the American Eagle Award is given to not only celebrate excellence, because a lot of people are excellent, especially in this business. It goes to the people who were excellent and then went way beyond that in terms of making us proud to be Americans and representatives of the American culture. Now, there's something about the Eagle Award that you should know as well. It's presented unanimously. Everyone in the Music Council, represented on the board, has to unanimously agree on the honoree. I don't know whether you've noticed this. It's come to my attention that not a whole lot of stuff in this country right now gets done unanimously. But this is the exception. Let me give you, to underline what it was like in a boardroom to get everybody to agree, I'll give you the list of organizations that were represented. ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, the Songwriters Guild of America, the Country Music Association, NAMM, the Music Publishers Association, the Recording Academy, which oversees the Grammys, the RIAA, the American Federation of Musicians, the Society of Composers and Lyricists, the National Association of Music Teachers, the Native American Music Association. I'm not going to go on any further, but that's a lot of unanimity. And I'm sure you're getting what I'm saying. The entire industry stands behind this award and truly takes pride in the person who gets it. In order to underline that, I'll read you a few of the names of people who have been honored in the past, going back to the 1940s. Stephen Sondheim, Quincy Jones, Kenny Rogers, Dizzy Gillespie, Lena Horne, Benny Goodman, Emmylou Harris, Dave Brubeck, Wynton Marsalis, Isaac Stern, Roy Clark, Judy Collins, Francis Preston, who's, none of you remember Francis. Our great friend Jim Lauderdale, who I know you, what a kick-ass set he did. And one of Raul's heroes, Chris Christopherson. We really miss Chris, and tonight we're proud to add another name to that incredible honor roll of folks who are the real deals of the music industry.
Kelly Ingram Mitchell!
Okay. Yeah! The person we're honoring today is not only an extraordinary vocalist, musician, songwriter, producer, performer. He's successfully helped keep alive and thriving an entirely unique multilingual style of American music. He championed music and still continues to as a healing and teaching force in children's lives. And he's generously given of his time and energies in the course of making the world a better place. And that is the true benchmark of awareness in this. I am going to, rather than go on, hand the mic to my friend Bobby, who has some deeper insights than I can possibly provide.
Thank you. Briefly, thank you for loving me through the years. It's taken a while, but I've never forgotten you, okay? I appreciate that you're here tonight. When they told me about this award and said, could you come help us bestow this honor on Raul, I said, yes. I want to set the scene, though. I want to tell you, it's 1988, late in 1988. I'm playing some songs in Miami, Florida, at a little punk club. But I'm playing Hank Williams, Johnny Cash, Buddy Holly, and a few of my own. And this guy with the most amazing smile comes up and says, hey, I'm Raul. Where did you learn that music? And I said, oh, I grew up on it. And he said, I didn't know anybody around here knew that music. And I said, I love country music and I love early rock and roll. And he said, man, I've been writing songs like that. We need to talk. Well, there were no cell phones. We need to talk turned into 1 month or 6. And one night, I'm going to see Tom Petty. God bless Tom Petty. Because Tom Petty and Raul Malo changed my life. I go to see Tom Petty and I'm seated and I look over to my right and there is Raul. And I walk over and said, hey, you love Tom Petty as well? He said, yeah, I've been wanting to call you. I've been waiting. Now, to make this a little difficult, but follow me for a minute, I'm running around with this kid named Paul Deacon. Because, yes, go ahead, give him a... Because Paul Deacon was my best friend because God knew I needed a big brother. And I got one. I got a lot of trouble too, but that's okay. Another story. Raul says, man, I've been wanting to call you. Now, I kept journals at the time, and I brought mine with me. It's backstage. My journal entry from July of 1989 said that guy, Raul Malo, from the Basics, now defunct Basics, they were done, called me me today. He finally called. And said he wants to work together, but he needs a drummer. And I said, I've got a drummer in mind. He said, who are you thinking of? I said, this guy named Paul Deacon. He says, Paul Deacon, he's my favorite drummer. Because there is a perfect plan, and I don't understand that, but at the time, I'm all in. Let me bring this story to a beautiful place. Raul asked me a couple of months later to come out and see him. He's working with a guitar player from Mississippi named Ben. He says, yeah, Ben Peeler. Let's put our hands together for Ben Peeler. Yeah. He says, come see us. We're opening for Nuclear Valdez at Churchill's Hideaway. I go out to see him, and I'm in the back of the room. It feels like this, but it's a little punk club owned by a British man in Little Haiti, Miami, Florida. God has a sense of humor. I hear Raul sing a set of music, and then he does a Patsy Cline song, and my palms are sweating. My life changed before my eyes. Paul tells me just this week, it's the weekend to me. He tells me, you called me that night. I said, I was so blown away. I knew that this guy was like the wind in the sails that would change our life. Raul and I talked about roots American music. Later we would talk about jazz, bebop. Later he would bring in Louis Prima. He was the most diverse thinker. He taught me about Cuban music, Mexican folk music. It was across the board, a visionary journey. I owe a huge debt of gratitude to Raul, and I never thought I'd have to be here doing it this way. That's the hard part. We were kids thumbing through the history. I have no teleprompter for any of this. I'm just telling you my life as I understand it. We're kids thumbing through the history of American music, and I meet this simpatico guy with a huge smile, hair down to his curly hair with a cowboy hat, driving a Mercedes-Benz. God has a sense of humor. And we're talking about American music. My whole life changed in 1989. He took me on a journey that I am still on today, and then he brought you with us. That is the music of Raul Malo. That is the Mavericks Legacy. Last thing for me, and then let's give this man the award he so deserves, and I have to do that in a special way. Last thing, a few weeks ago, Paul says, you got to get down here. This is hard. I came down, I was not ready for this. But I walked in, and I was greeted by that smile I had met 35 years earlier, because he was still on fire for it. And he said, I may not sing again, but I can produce records and write songs. That's what we talked about. That's what we talked about. He said, Bobby, I'm so glad you're well, because Cubans love you forever. I'm in a Cuban family now. I'm Roberto. I'm Bobby. He said, I'm so glad you're well. I worried about you. Now I'm worried about him. But I'm here tonight. We're here tonight. And by the way, I do hope to play some music with you in just a little bit here. Because that has to happen. Because I love these guys. Now, finally, let me bring out somebody who is a part of the Maverick family. If you ask me to name 2 people who made the Mavericks happen, I could do that. Topping the list would be the guy that was there from day one at MCA Records, and he brought us back again with the record In Time. Please let me hand this off, while I still can, to my friend Scott Borchetta. Scott has been a big part of this story, and he'll take over from here.
So I was at MCA when we signed the Mavericks in 1991, like Robert just said, and they were the absolute buzz. And also the absolute new hellraisers in country music, no doubt. The absolute hellraisers in country music. So I have been part of the Mavericks musical journey pretty much from the beginning. We had great success, we beat the odds, and we pissed off a bunch of people in the industry. We won't name names, but we sure know them. And we didn't agree on many occasions because we were all very passionate about what we did. But I always loved the band and the extraordinary band. I always say anytime I get to be with the Mavericks, somewhere in the world, you're watching the best band in the world. And tonight, you are watching the best band in the world with the Mavericks. We parted ways in 1997 when I left MCA for DreamWorks, but in 2013, I got an unsuspected call from the guys and they wanted to meet, and I had no idea. They hadn't been together at that point. They'd been broken up, and I really didn't know what they wanted to do. They told me they decided to do a limited run of shows just to see what was up. Maybe there's a live album, maybe something was up. And I was all in. If there was any way that I could work with them together. At this point, I'm at Big Machine. And I said, man, I'm all in. So we had this meeting. They go out and do some dates. And when they completed this little tour, I got a call that they wanted to come in and meet with me. And I was sure that they wanted to come in and kick my ass. What did you do? Well, it was just the opposite. They said, we wanted to thank you for encouraging us to get back together. And much to my surprise, they came marching into the conference room, declared themselves as being back. And that they had rededicated themselves to being the Mavericks. And they were ready to make records again as the Mavericks. And many of the songs you've heard in that first set were on our first record that was on Valerie, part of the Big Machine label group, In Time. And I know the hardcore Mavericks fans know In Time. So Raul asked me to do a couple things tonight. He asked me to acknowledge Rockaway Middle School in Miami. As this is the school that was an incredible influence on him in his pursuit of music. It gave him the foundation and encouragement to pursue music as a career. And for Raul, to this day, keeping music programs in schools is so important to him. So my wife Sandy and I is here. We have a fund called Music Has Value. And we're going to make a $10,000 donation in Raul's name to Rockaway. All right, I need your strength with me right now, okay? Raul wrote this letter and he asked me to read it to you. So be with me, okay? Music has been the guiding force of my entire life. It carried me from my Cuban-American childhood in Miami to stages across the world. It introduced me to my brothers, the Mavericks. Yes. It gave me a home in Nashville, Tennessee. It allowed me to raise my three incredible sons, Dino, Victor, and Max, who are my greatest pride and joy. And it connected me to fans whose love has sustained me through every chapter of this journey. This award is not just about accomplishments, it is about commitment. The commitment to creativity, to education, to keeping music alive in the hearts of people everywhere. I've always believed that music is one of the most powerful bridges that we have. It crosses cultures, politics, and God, don't we need that right now, languages, and sometimes pain. In these past months, I've had to fight battles I've never imagined. But on the hardest of days, music remained my companion. Your letters, your stories of how a song helped you through loss, heartbreak, joy, those became our songs. You all carried me more than you know. To my family, my band, the National Music Council, my musical collaborators, and every fan around the world, thank you for giving my voice a place to live, even when my body cannot be the one delivering it. I accept this award with profound gratitude and with the hope that the music we create continues to inspire, to heal, and bring people together. And in hope that it brings us together long after the last note fades. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Buenas noches y muchísimas gracias.
For his lifelong commitment to the preservation of the multilingual American music repertoire, and for his steadfast championing of music education as inspiration for every child across America and throughout the world. Remember that. Presented at the Ryman Auditorium, Nashville, Tennessee on December 5th, 2025. You were here. We love you for that. This is the award for Raul. God bless you all. God bless Raul Malo. God bless him. He's a magical force in our world.